Hey guys, welcome back to Brothers Grimdark. We've got another kill team battle report for you today. Today we are going to be playing the mission Secure the Archaeotech. So I will pass you over to my Grimdark brother to explain the mission details.
So in this mission, we've got a deployment zone of square lengthways along the board, two sides, and we have 6 objective markers, which you can perform an action on if you control it, called Disengage Tech. It costs 1 AP. What that does, it then disengages that objective and will allow you, if you want to then pick up the objective for another action, which will essentially allow you to move the objective away from your opponents if you want to, or you can leave them where they are and hold them where they are at that point. You'll score 1 VP for doing Disengage Tech, and if for every objective marker that you hold at the end of the game, you will score 2 VP. So with that, the story we've got going on here is the Ork Kommandos and the Custodes. The Ork Kommandos were just around here, looting for some shiny gubbinz, and they had a tag-along Wierd boy with them who was just ranting and raving about the golden armoured umies, and there's been an explosion of warp energy, and with that, the custodian guard appeared out of nowhere, much to the Commandos' delight, because they always enjoy a good scrap. So we'll take you through all the equipment as
The teams.
My brother run the roll off, so he chose to be the defender, to choose his deployment. So we'll start with his Custodes and go through their equipment.
Okay, I've chosen obviously Custodes as the team. I decided to just go with 4 custodian guards rather than the Sisters of Silence. So we've got a normal custodian guard with a guardian spear, another one over here with a guardian spear, and I've got the custodian guard leader, the one with the cloak, and the one holding his sword pointing to the ground, which isn't very effective, and then the other one who's got a sword on board as well. So 2 sword on board, 2 guardian spear. The equipment I'm running is I have a tanglefoot grenade on this fellow who's completely bald, and I have 2 misericordias, one on him and one on him, because they can only be taken by someone with a shield. And I have an oath parchment who I'm going to give to this other guardian spear guy. So every one of them has got a piece of equipment, and that takes me to 10 points in total.
So for my Commandos, I've gone with, obviously I'm going to take every specialist on there. I've chosen not to take the bomb squig. I am taking the grot.
Of course.
And instead of the bomb squig, I'm just taking a standard boy at the end there. Now, just going through my equipment, I have 2 stun grenades. One I have on my boss knob, and one I have on my burner boy. I then have a smoke grenade on my standard boy here. It's on the end there. And for the final 3 EP that I have remaining, I've given a climbing rope to my Dakka boy, sniper boy, and rocket boy. And that's all my equipment, and that's my kill team. So,
and you've got the boss knob's got a power claw.
Yes.
Rather than the big chopper.
The boss knob has a claw there instead of the big chopper. So we're just going to essentially deploy our operatives now.
I chose to be the defender, and I chose this side of the board.
That's this side over here.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm going to set up my guys, and
we'll come back
for his guys, and we'll come back and show you
the scouting options,
the deployment zone, and the scouting options.
Yeah. So we're back after deployment. Start with the custodian. They deployed along here.
All concealed except we've got a single guardian spear guy who's on an engage order.
And then for the Commandos, they have all gone with conceal all along here. So we're just going to do our scouting option now.
We'll get it both in there shot, yep.
3, 2, 1. Yeah. So that's going to be my initiative because 2 beats 3.
Mm-hmm. So I get a free dash.
You get a free dash. I get to change an order during turning point 1.
Cool.
So we'll go through all
I'll
this.
do the dash now. while we're rolling, may as well.
Right, okay.
So he's going to go to there and remain concealed. And that's my free dash.
So we're going to go through the strategy phase, revealing tac ops, and the first activations, and we'll come back for those. Right, so basically what I've done for my strategic ploy is I did shush for the Ork Kommandos, which allows me to do a free dash, which I've done on most of these, just to move them up into cover. And this rocket boy, who I've moved up there because he has a climbing rope, so it only costs him 1 circle for the vertical movement and then a triangle to sort of perch where he is there. And that's his orders changed from his activation, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Scouting.
The tac ops, I didn't reveal any tac ops, but the Custodes revealed...
2 are revealed, hold the line and protect assets. So I've chosen security with for my Custodes. Hold the line. I mean, we can get to that when I score it or when it comes up, but until then, it's fine. So are you going to do your attack?
I am, yeah.
Oh,
So I've
strategic ploys. My strategic ploy was Aegis of the Emperor, which I can choose a normal critical attack dice to inflict normal damage instead. If
Okay.
it happens.
So for my activation, I've activated this rocket boy. I've used my scouting option to change him to an engage order. And he's going to take a shot at that custodian guard.
The leader.
Over there.
Custodian leader.
So I'm going to be rolling 5 dice, looking for 4+. It's AP 1 and splash, so any crits deal mortal wounds. Oh, good lord. I should have done Daka, shouldn't I? If I'd done Daka, that would have been a hit as
I
well.
don't think you need to be honest.
So that's going to be... Can't you change one of these though, because of your ploy?
I'm just thinking about it now. The equipment, I don't think the equipment's going to help. I'll roll to save and see what I get. So it's just going to be 2+, isn't it?
It's AP 1 as well, so you can't roll 3. You can retain 1 normal if you wanted to, but...
I may as well just roll them.
Right.
Now I say that, I'll get a 1. So there's 2 normal saves. I think I'm going to have to spend a CP on Arcane Alchemy.
Which is what?
I can change one of your crits into a normal.
Okay. So just to let you all know, we're not 100% sure how.
Oh no, sorry, that's wrong. I can retain. I was reading the Aegis of the Emperor then. So because of the strategic ploy, I'll turn one of your crits into a normal. So I don't want to touch your dice because I don't want to curse them. So you can do that.
Yeah. So we'll just to go over the way we're going to play this, because we're not 100% sure how this is supposed to work. That Aegis of the Emperor, it changes one of my crits to normal, but he's still going to take 1 mortal wound from the splash critical rule.
Mm-hmm.
If that's wrong, then let us know.
Yeah, let us know how you think you're supposed to do it, because it does. It specifies in the thing that it's not that the critical is to inflict normal damage instead, because you can choose for that attack dice to inflict normal damage. So do you still need a critical save to block it, or when it's turned to a normal, can you use a normal save to block it? That's what we aren't sure. We've seen it in other battle reports, and we're doing it the way we've seen it. So if you know differently, let us know in the comments.
So that's
so yeah, 1 becomes.
So he takes 3 mortal wounds just off the bat.
Just remember that.
That goes to a normal.
And then if I spend a CP, I can change one of my saves into a critical, which I will do. So that'll become a 1. And let's just turn that one into a critical. Right, so now let's resolve it. So I take 3.
So you block a crit.
I block a crit and a normal, so you can
Take 3 mortal wounds plus crit and normal damage, which is 4/5. So it's 12 damage total.
Okay.
So for the Commandos activation, my slasher boy who was here has charged the custodian. Even though he's got 7 wounds, he's still extremely dangerous. But we're hoping that he's gonna.
Oh, he's put an injured token. He is injured as well.
Do they not count as injured?
Oh yeah,
custodians?
they don't get injured. Pardon me.
They are too strong to be injured. So I'm going to be rolling 4 dice, looking for 3+, and it's going to be relentless, so I can re-roll all the fails.
And I'm going to be rolling 5 dice, 2 plus, lethal 5 plus.
So that's crit and 2 hits, and I get to reroll the 1 to a normal hit.
Okay, so I've got 5 attacks, 2 plus, and 5 plus lethal. And of course I get 2 ones.
That's rough.
Fantastic. So, that's a crit, that's a normal. I might CP reroll one of them. Oops, that was a normal. I will do that, CP reroll. Come on, give me that 6 or 5. Yes. So that's 2 crits and 2 hits. Because of Agents of the Emperor, one of your crit becomes a normal.
Yeah, so I'll just move that to 4. So first thing I'm going to do is just hit you for a normal, which is 4 damage.
Ooh, okay. And how normals are 4, aren't they?
Yeah, my normals are 4. I've got no crit, so it's just 4 damage each.
Okay, let me just check the damage on mine. How many wounds has your guy got?
10 wounds.
10. Can you pause it? Because I need to think. I think I'm going to die.
And have a think.
Okay, so been thinking about it, talking about it. If I parry, I can block 2 hits with a parry.
Thanks to the shield.
Thanks to the storm shield. But that would still leave 1 attack left, which would kill me because they're 4 each. I'm already on 3 wounds with this attack. If I hit him for a crit, he can use just a scratch.
And just ignore the damage.
It and then hit me again.
Or I could just take the damage and hit you back, but I'd rather not take the damage.
But it would make you burn a CP, so either way I'm dead. I think the best thing for me to do is to hit you and either make you lose wounds or lose a CP. So I'm going to hit you for a crit.
And I'll just a scratch, so I go down to 1 CP.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll hit you for another 4, which kills you.
Yep, that's been a crazy couple of activations for the Commandos so far.
It's that rocket boy, that first rocket shot is...
so first was 4, took me down to 3. Second hit was another 4. Takes me down to 0. So, unfortunate. Next activation for the Custodes. I will mention, I don't know if we said it before, but the leader who's just been killed, he moved with his free dash onto that point which you saw. He captured that point in his turn. Normal moved to this point and captured this one too, and then he died after that. So this activation, I've moved Guardian Spear guy, dash, move onto this point and captured that one.
Then my just normal commando boy moved to there and he tossed a smoke onto that.
Which is this.
There.
And it has a radius.
A radius of circle.
A circle all the way around. So there's like a column. It's hard to explain. There's a column of obscurity there. And then my next turn, I moved this sword and shield, did a dash and a normal move onto this point and captured that as well. For another VP.
And then it's back to the Commandos activation. So for my activation, I just moved my Daka boy up to there.
From there.
And then what did you do?
I moved my last custodian guard from back here, dash, normal move, and captured that. I was going to shoot across to the rocket boy, but this pesky smoke grenade here has got circle range. There's like a cylinder basically here blocking it, so couldn't do that unfortunately, but yeah.
So then for my activation, my flamer, who is equipped with a stun grenade, he moved over here, ended up there, and he's going to throw his stun grenade at the custodian guard. So in essence, basically, I need to roll a dice on a 4+. That custodian's APL will be reduced by 1. So I need a 4+ here.
Okay. Get a 1. Yes.
Got 2. So nothing happens. That's the end of my activation.
So we're back with Custodes first Overwatch, because I've used all my activations. The only person that I can Overwatch with is this chap here. My only options are the Burner Boy and the Breacher Boy. Considering the Burner Boy's already moved and isn't much of a threat, probably regret saying that at some point, I'll shoot the Breacher Boy. So it's going to be 4 attacks, and it's going to be 3+ rather than 2+, and it's P1. So So I get a crit and a normal, which makes it AP1. So you've got two dice to roll.
So I lock the crit and take the normal.
Which is
3 damage.
3 damage, yeah.
Okay. So Breacher Boy goes down to 7 wounds. So for my activation, my boss knob said get it done to this sniper, gave him +1 APL, then he moved and dashed over to here. And now my sniper's going to take a shot at that Custodes after he activated the objective. So we're going to be rolling 6 dice, looking for 3+. So it's just 3 hits.
I can retain 1. The cover, so I'll roll the other 2, which is 2+. So say
Nothing happens. That's the end of that.
That is how it should be.
So for my last activations, the Grot just stayed where he was, shifted a little bit to the right. The comms guy gave the Rocket Boy an APL, so he's got +1 to the end of his next activation. Now we're going to roll for initiative.
There's also a tack-off that I've scored that I need to let you know about. Hold the line.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, it's after the first. Doesn't matter.
Oh, you can only reveal it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have revealed it when you did.
Should have revealed it this turn, I didn't read it properly.
So we're going to go through strategy phase, everything, and come back.
Okay, so first activation of turning point 2. I activated my custodian guard who was back there, and he's charged this very menacing Grot behind there.
It's an absolute disgrace what's happening here.
I did make a mistake though with the equipment. I said at the beginning that Misericordia can only be given to Custodes with the spear, not the spear, the shield, when in fact it's the ones who don't have the shield. So the ones who have the spears now have the Misericordia rather than the shield guys. Apart from that, the rest of the equipment's the same. So
and you played a deploy, didn't you?
I played the which one? Peerless Warriors, which is shoot and fight twice, or shoot or fight twice.
And I played WAG, which means 2 normal hits in combat. I can turn 1 into a crit, and I also revealed behind enemy lines tack off as well.
And I revealed damage limitation, and I should have revealed hold the line this turn. I revealed it last turn in error.
Right, so you're going to roll your dice.
I've got no CP after my strategic play.
What's your damage on this?
My damage is 5 and 7.
So if you hit anything,
and
I
it's
die.
lethal 5+, yeah. It's 5 attacks, 2+.
Yeah, so I'm just dead.
Yes.
Goodbye, Grot. Poor Grotty. This custodian should be absolutely ashamed of himself. What he's just done.
It was too easy. After that, it's still his activation. I'm going to use his last APL to shoot at the Rocket Boy. Try and get some revenge for killing the leader. So that's going to be 4 attacks at 2+, again, P1. So if I get a crit, it's going to be AP1. Which I do, so it's AP1. The amount of 1s I get with Custodes is shocking.
The amount of 6s is shocking also with P1. You got P1 every time now.
Says you who got 3 6s off a Rocket Boy. So yeah, AP1 and 2 normal hits.
What's the damage I'm looking at here?
3 for normal, 5 for crit.
Right, so I just need 1 save really.
Yeah.
So 2 dice, 5+. Nope. Oh. How much is normal again?
Normal's 3, crit's 5.
Right, we're gonna have to think about that, I think. decided to let him die with dignity and grace. That's a dead rocket boy. I think that's the end of your activation, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You turn his token over, but that's it.
So I'm going to do a move with the Dapper Boy to here and then shoot the Custodes because I'm within Pentagon. I can unload slugs, which means my weapon gains the Relentless rule, and it also means that which means I can re-roll all my dice. So I'm 5 dice looking for 4 up. That's the only one that missed, so I'll re-roll that.
Miss. Oh dear.
Crit.
So I'm just have to roll. I can't retain any.
Because I'm within circle of him, he can't retain any for cover, so he's just going to be rolling 3 dice looking for 2 up.
Looking for 2 ups. And of course I roll a 1, as usual. I don't have any CP, so I can't re-roll any, so...
Nope. So you block these
equipment, he has an oath parchment actually, so I could...
Re-roll 1.
Re-roll 1 for free, which... There's no better time than the present for that. So I've got another normal save.
So you block those 3, and you'll take 2 crits, which is a total of 8 damage.
Okay, well.
And then my Dapper Boy will just dash, because you can do a shoot and a dash for 1 AP, he's just going to dash back to there.
Okay.
And that's it.
Next Custodes activation, it was the guy underneath here. I performed the pickup action and picked up number 5, so now this token represents that he's got that point and he charged the burner boy, and I'm going to fight him. So it's 4 dice, 5 dice, 2 plus, lethal 5 plus. All hits, 1 crit.
And I have 3 dice looking for 3 plus. Crit and a hit.
Crit and a normie. So I will block your crit to start with.
And I will implant you with my normal.
Ooh, cheeky. Does that score you a point?
Yep.
So instead of hitting me, you're going to use the implant, and then
I'm going to die. I'm just going to die.
I'll parry, yeah, but oh no. Yeah,
I've got nothing left.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm dead.
Yeah. So yeah, dead.
Right.
I'll hit you 4 times.
And that's the end of his activation, isn't it?
That's the end of his activation, yeah.
For my activation, the daring boy is going to charge this shield guy, and he's going to fight him. So he's got 4 attacks, looking for 3 plus. I have got the WAG strategic ploy, so if I get 2 normals, one of them will turn into a crit. So that's 2 normals, one of those becomes a crit. There's a crit and 2 hits.
Okay, so I've got the Sentinel Blade.
Yeah.
Which is 5 attacks, 2 plus.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Lethal 5 plus. Ooh. So that's a miss, number 1. 3 crits and 1 hit.
And it's a 4/5 for you, damage.
Yes, 4/5.
Yeah. Okay, and with your shield, if you parry, do you parry 2 normals?
I parry 2. Each time I parry 2 of your opponent's successful hits instead of 1.
So would you parry the crit?
I'm not sure actually, unless it's a crit that I'm parrying with. I'm sure if I parry with a crit, I'll block your crit in a normal, I think, but only because it's a crit. Each time it parries, 2 of your opponent's successful hits are discarded instead of 1. So I'm assuming if it was a normal block, I can't parry your crit with a normal block because in combat you can't parry a crit with a normal, but you can parry.
It would be nice if they actually specified that, wouldn't it? I'm just going to.
I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't see, like, if I'm parrying with a crit, it would parry your crit and a normal, because a crit can parry a normal, but a normal can't parry a crit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get doing it with the crit. I just mean with the normals. But anyway, I'm just going to implant you.
Okay, and then I will parry your crit and your normal.
Yeah, and then I'll die.
And then you'll die, yeah. Next Custodes activation, I activated my Custodian Guard with the Storm Shield and Sentinel Blade. He started here, he picked up the objective and did a normal move to here, and his order became engaged as well, did that at the beginning of the turn. He's now going to shoot the boss knob, who's here, with his Sentinel Blade, which is 4 attacks, 2+, P1.
Another
Of course,
6.
I got a 1, and so that's AP1.
2 dice looking for 4-ups. Just 1. So how much damage do I take there?
Whereas you take a crit and a normal.
Yeah.
Crit is 6. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Crit is 4, normal's 3. So you take
7 damage, so he's got 5 wounds left. So my breach boy is going to make a charge at that guy and fight him. It's going to be 3 attacks, looking for 3+, and they're brutal.
2 hits. You gonna re-roll anything?
Nope.
Okay, mine is 5 attacks, 2+, 5+ lethal. Excuse me. What's a miss? I've got 2 crits and 2 normals.
The amount of 6s are disgusting. Even though I got I think I ran out of 6s in my first roll.
Do you want to think about it and then come back?
Yeah, why not? So I'll hit you for 5 damage, I think it is.
And I will crit you for 7, which...
And I'll use just a scratch. Ignore it.
Okay.
And then hit you for 5.
And then I will... Oh, am I dead then?
Yeah.
Damn it.
What you should have done was parried.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about just a scratch.
Can you take it back? Parry instead?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would prefer to do that.
Right. So you take 5 damage and I die.
Okay. Overwatch for the Custodes. I'm going to choose him to Overwatch, and he's going to shoot at the knob again, the boss knob. So it's going to be 4 attacks, it's going to be 3+ now, because he's Overwatch. P1, so that becomes AP1. That's a miss. So 2 hits and a crit. Oh. So you
what's a crit?
Well, a crit is Sentinel Blade 4 damage.
So there's 1 wound left then.
4 damage, yep.
So for my activation, the boss knob gave him an extra APL with Get It Done, and then he just moved and dashed to there.
And it's my Overwatch again, so I'm going to activate him, and he's going to Overwatch the Sniper Boy. So it's going to be 4 attacks with the Guardian Spear, it's going to be 3+, and it's P1. Let's see if I can get another 6 with this weapon to make it AP1. And yes, I do. So 1 hit and then 1 crit, so it's AP1.
No saves.
So that's 3 and 5, 5, 6 and 8.
It's got 2 wounds left. So for my activation, this Sniper Boy with his +1 APL is going to pick up that objective, and then he's going to shoot at this guy whilst remaining concealed for 2 AP. He's injured, so it's going to be 4+, 6 dice looking for 4+. 1 crit and 1 hit.
I can retain 1, so I'll do that. It's no AP, is it?
Nope.
Okay, so normal saves. Failed 1 and saved 1, so 2 normal saves. What's the damage on it? 2 and
Crit
2.
and the normal is the same damage, so you just take 2 damage.
Yeah. Block 1.
Right.
Yep.
She's got 3 wounds left.
Okay, it's my last Overwatch, and it's going to be this Custodian guard here, and he's going to Overwatch Daka Boy there. So it's going to be 4 attacks with the Guardian Spear. It's going to be 3+, same as the last guy basically. 3+ AP1.
Is it just P1 or AP1?
P1, sorry, not AP1. That makes it AP1. So that's a miss and a crit and 2 hits.
No saves.
So crit and 2 hits is 6. That's 11. So he's
dead.
He's died. And that's the last of the Custodes Overwatch. So we'll go on to the Commandos next turn, and we'll come back with what. Well, actually, it's the last 3 Commander activations. So we'll do those, and then at the end of the turning point, we'll come back and explain to you what's taken place.
So for my last last 2 activations, the Slasher Boy picked up the objective there, and he just moved around to there. And then my comms guy is going to charge this Custodian. So we're going to have 3 attacks, looking for 3+. Just 1 hit.
And I'm looking for 2+ with 5 attacks. Lethal 5+. I mean, I am getting a lot of 6s, but I'm getting a lot of 1s as well, which is quite annoying. So yeah, a crit and 2 hits.
I'm just going to implant you.
Okay, I will hit you with a normal.
You'll hit me with the rest of it. I only got 1.
I was checking if you were going to just a scratch.
No.
Okay, so yeah, I'll hit you with the rest of them.
So he's dead then?
Yep.
Right. It's the end of that turning point.
At the end of that turning point, I score 2 points for TAC Ops. I get 1 for Protect Assets, which at the end of the turning point, if 2 or more enemy operatives were incapacitated while within circle of an objective marker during that turning point, or while carrying an objective marker during that turning point, score a VP, so I've got 1 for that. And damage limitation, which is if no friendly operatives were incapacitated during that turning point, I score a VP for that also. So got those 2.
And I've only got 2 VP for implant, and that's it. So we're just going to roll for initiative.
The next one. Got a 3. I get a 1. A lonely 1. So it's your initiative.
Right, so we'll be back for turning point 3. So neither of us played any strategic ploys. We didn't reveal any more TAC Ops. And for my Commando activation, the sniper just moved to there. He switched to an engage order, and he's going to shoot that Custodian. Just going to have 6 dice, looking for 4+ because he is injured.
Ooh, 5 5s. That's magic.
I think I'll spend a CP and reroll the last one. Nope. Down to 1.
Okay. So I just need to roll my. I've got 3. I can retain 1. Maybe I should fish for crits though, because there is 5.
None of them are crits though. So
You don't not block.
You can't block 2 normal shots with a crit. So you're best off just not trying to fish for crits. If that's what
Right, I'll retain 1 and then roll the other 2. So I got 3 saves.
Which means you'll take 4 damage, which will kill you.
It will kill me. I'm just checking the tactical ploy, see if there's anything I can do that would save me. And there's not. I've used my oath parchment. So he's dead. Poor guy.
So on to the Custodes.
Right, so it's Custodes' first activation, and I'm going to activate this fella here, and he's going to shoot the Commando boss knob with his Sentinel blade. So it's going to be 4 shots, 2 plus P1. So it's going to be AP1. There's 2 crits and 2 normal hits.
He's just dead. I can't save that, so.
Yeah. So the boss knob's dead. So I've got 2 APL left.
You want to come back to that?
Yes, please. Right, I'm back. What I'm going to do is he's going to dash this way, or maybe a normal move, but he's not going to end up that much further. He's going to end up there. So it's going to be a normal move back, and he's going to pick up this objective marker. So now he's going to have 2 objectives. So I'll give him an extra.
I don't think you can actually pick up 2. So you have to stay there on the objective marker.
Okay, can we check, see if you can pick up 2? We'll pause it and we'll come back. Okay, so we checked the rule book and you can't pick up 2 objective markers, so he's just going to sit on it, so he is controlling it still, but without picking it up. And that's the end of the activation of the Custodes.
So just on to the Commandos' last activation.
Okay, it's the Custodes activation. I've activated my last one, which was him down here. He was here, so I moved him towards the scalable wall triangle, up, and then dash. So he did a normal move and a dash to there. And he's going to shoot at the knife boy. I can't remember what the actual name is in the book.
Slasher boy.
Slasher boy, that was it. So it's Guardian Spear, 4 attacks, 2 plus, P1. So it's going to be AP1.
Should have a 6 count of 6s for this match, I think.
Yeah, that would be a good idea for future games.
No saves, so he's dead.
That's the end of the Custodes activation and the end of the turn as well, I think.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's just roll for initiative, shall we?
Okay. And then we'll be back with if we scored any tac ops and the beginning of turning point 4 as well. So I get 4, you get 5, it's your initiative next turn. Okay, so I moved, in my last activation, I moved this Custodian. From there he jumped down, moved forward and picked up that objective marker. You moved your, before that though, you moved your
Yeah, moved my sniper to there,
sniper
moved
boy to
dash,
there.
just left him there.
So now it was my go, and I moved him forward slightly, so he's still on this point, but he's now within circle of the sniper boy, so I'm going to shoot him with the blade. So that's going to be 4 shots, 2 plus. Two normals.
Well, I could have done with that earlier, I think.
3 crits. So he didn't take any damage. So I moved, shot, and I'll just dash back out of the way. And that is the conclusion of the game, I think. What we'll do is we'll tot up the scores for the tac ops and objectives, and we'll come back and have a little talk about the game, the score, and how it went. Hey guys, this is the battle summary part of the game, or part of the video, sorry. Where we just talk about how we think the game went, talk about the score and things. So first we'll go over the score and who won.
So the scores here were, we'll start with the Commandos. They scored 3 points for primary objectives and 2 points for tac ops. Can't help laugh saying this now, wasn't so funny at the time. The Custodes scored 11 for primary objectives and they scored all the tac ops. So they ended up with 17 points in the end, which is 1 off maximum.
Which I think is probably the highest I ever scored in any game of Kill Team. But it's not exactly hard with Custodes, let's be honest. Well, it's the easiest to do with any army if you're playing with Custodes. But speaking of that, we can talk a bit about how it went for each of us. So,
Well, I think it's safe to say.
How do you think it went for you, Owen? And what do you think? Like, yeah, how did it go?
I think it's safe to say it went terribly for me. I don't normally play Commandos, so I completely forgot about the comms boy actually being able to pick up objectives for free, and I think he can also perform mission actions for
free, yeah,
for free as well. So I sort of wasted him, and then I guess I stayed too far back at the start. Didn't push forward, take some of those objectives because the Custodes scored 5 points in the first round just by activating each objective.
I think the thing is, it's easy for you to, or it's hard to want to push forward when you're against something like Custodes that has such powerful guns when you've got a save that's 5+.
Yeah, it was great. That rocket shot at the start was great. Yeah, the Custodes, really, and I thought that was a good sign. But I quickly just 3 Custodes are just so. The main weapon that can take out the Custodes, I think, is that rocket. Everything else will sort of chip away.
Yeah, that first turn when you got those 3 crits on the rocket on my leader, like just taking more than half of his wounds away in one shot is pretty impressive. It's bad for Custodes because that's nearly a quarter of your army, a quarter of your kill team gone if you lose him.
And then the other mistake, I think, I didn't expect you to charge the grot, and that basically lost me 2 VP straight away for Interloper.
Yeah, no one expects anyone to charge the grot, but because I like playing Orks and Commandos, they're like my favourite faction in the game, Orks. So I know, I'm quite familiar with what each person can do, and I knew that it's probably sensible to take infiltration, especially against Custodes, and the grot is like crucial to one of your attack ops. If you pick it, it's crucial to like behind enemy lines and infiltrate.
Yeah, that was where the attack up behind enemy lines, which I couldn't then manage that, and I just started.
You almost did at the second to last turn with the slasher boy. You got there, but
then the constant 6s on the P1 was really just reducing my chances of saving anything. Rolling 2 dice,
pretty powerful. I don't know if you guys counted. It would be interesting to know. That could be something you could do actually. If you could count for us the amount of 6s that the Custodes rolled in that game, and put it into the comments, that would be interesting. We're both thinking about doing a 6 counter for some of these games we have, because the amount of 6s that are rolled sometimes is outrageous with some of the shots we do. For me, I think obviously it went it went very well for Custodes, but I think the first turn I did just go for objectives. I didn't, which I thought was a mistake at the time. I kept all of them concealed but one, and just went and captured the objectives instead of trying to like get into combat, which, given what the Custodes normally do, which is like kill people, I thought that was a mistake, especially after getting blasted by the rocket. But I think that put me ahead early and put me in a good position to not like stop trying to get points, but not worry about them so much, so they weren't the full focus of what I was doing.
I think 3 APL helped with this mission a lot as well, being able to activate an objective, move, and then activate another one, and also be able to activate, move, and shoot, which is something that I couldn't do with everyone. The dash at the beginning as well that I got, that put me onto the objective, so I could take it, move, and then take the other one. And that was really helpful. I mean, I don't think anyone's surprised that the Custodes did well, but I think Commandos are a really good team. They're one of the best teams. So, I mean, I think I was surprised and I wasn't about the amount of people the amount of kills and stuff that happened, but I don't know. I think maybe the Commandos could beat the Custodes, but it would be quite difficult. You need to weaken them, I think, with shooting, which isn't easy with Orks, and then you've got to go in and melee, like the rocket and the slasher boy did. You've got to sort of like make them work as a team to get wounds off. What do you think? I don't know. I just struggle against Custodes ever I play them. Cannot. I don't think I've ever won against Custodes. I played as Custodes once, and it was the most relaxed game I've ever had. It was just. I was playing. I mean, I was playing against infiltrators as well. Yeah. So that's obviously even worse for them. But I could just move up the board. I get shot. It's fine. 2+ save, armor save. You can just sort of wander around a bit more.
Yeah, you can't walk around.
I'll just walk over here. I'll stay behind this cover. I'll be able to retain one if I need to. I've got an invulnerable save in case I get shot by any AP weapons. It's quite. Yeah. You've got. You only get 4 models, but they're really strong.
Like the board is literally yours, isn't it? When you're against certain teams, anyway. It wasn't so much in this because I know the Commandos are quite powerful, and there's a lot of them compared to Custodes. But most games you play with Custodes, the board is just yours, and you can go anywhere and not worry about being hit. What do you think of your faction generally, like Commandos?
I mean, they're fun to play. They look cool. I'd probably enjoy playing them against something other than Custodes. Then again, I would enjoy playing anything other than Custodes at this point, I think.
Do you think, in terms of people getting into the game, do you think they're easy to play for new players? Because that's a lot of people say that Commandos are an easy team to play, like they're easy mode.
I don't think Commando. No, I wouldn't say Commandos are easy. I'd say you need to learn. Like I say, I don't play them that often, so I messed up with my tac ops. Didn't do what I was supposed to do early on. And I think there's more. You sort of need to learn the tac ops and what they can do to each ability that each operative can do to be able to properly use them. I think Custodes are great for someone just starting out.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, if you're new to the game, that not only are they cheap, but they're easy to play in the sense that if you make a mistake, you're not going to be punished so brutally.
You've only got 4 models to think about as well.
Yeah, you've got less people. You've got less likeliness. You've got less likelihood of getting a guy wiped off the board by moving him into the wrong place. They've got powerful weapons in melee and in shooting, and they've got good ploys to do as well. So if you're new to the game, Custodes are not very easy. They're easy to play with. They're
easy to pick up because there's not as much to learn. Like if you're comparing Commandos to Custodes, there's a lot more abilities with the operatives to learn than there is with the Custodes.
Yeah, because each guy's got their own ability, haven't they? Special thing that they can do, which you need to remember. Because if you don't, it can be the difference between scoring a few points or not, like with the comms guy. What do you think you could have done to score more points, if there was anything?
Well, it was just, I think really I just made the mistake of not moving up sooner. I mean, that would have also put me in a position to get charged, and I probably would have, died from that. But then at least it would have denied you a few more extra points. I think this particular mission is really hard against Custodes because if you can't get some consistently good rolls against Custodes and take out 2 of them, you've got to survive till the end of the game to score those extra 2 points on the objectives.
Yeah. And
the Custodes can sort of just start marching around the board, just methodically taking people out, and then you need to try and keep enough alive at the end to be able to score those extra 2. That was my initial plan, was to not be too bothered about him getting the VP for activating the objectives. My plan was to then, take over and steal the objectives and win that way. But I just got decimated by the end, so one guy left.
It's a good plan, but I think the only flaw in it is that if you're playing the waiting game and trying to get to the last couple of rounds to get the objectives, you've got to have the survivability just in case you get attacked in those other rounds, which Commandos don't really have unless you're concealed and far enough away that you can't be hit or charged. Because if you do get shot at, it's likely you're going to take some damage and maybe die, so it's hard to survive for that long. Although you did have one guy left till the end, which is something to cling on to, I suppose. That's a small victory.
And even with Custodes, that leader, any other model, would die from that shot with the rocket at the start, but with the ploys to reduce the crit and the strategic, was it the tactical ploy and strategic ploys? You think you had one of each, didn't you? That essentially saved his life.
I used the one that changes the crit to a normal which I think is Aegis of the Emperor. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, it turns the crit to a normal, and I spent a CP to... I can't remember which one that did. Oh, I think it turned one of my saves into a critical save. Yeah. If I didn't have those, I think he would have been killed. Because the other crit would have been 6. He only had 7 wounds left after that. 6, and then there was that would have been the normal as well. So yeah, he would have died from that.
I don't think it would have changed the game too much, because then I killed him with the slasher boy, which might just mean I could have done something else with him. But I don't think.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he was dead, it would have freed up 2 APL from your guy, which isn't much, but
I could have potentially moved to that objective, picked it up, and then just chilled there for a bit, and then moved away. But
and I mean,
chance would be a fine thing.
Yeah, chance would be a fine thing. But yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I enjoyed the game, but obviously I obviously
it was quite difficult for me to get any enjoyment out of that towards the end. It was quite rough.
I mean, when you said that this mission's hard for Custodes, I thought at first. No, you said it was easy for Custodes. Sorry.
No, I didn't say it was. I said that I thought that.
Hard against them. Yeah.
I thought they'd have a harder time because there were 6 objectives.
That's what I thought as well. I thought it would be hard for me to get onto them. So I've got 4 guys, and there's 6 objectives. So I thought, like, every turn you're gonna objective me. But if you position them right, which is what I spent ages in deployment, as always, I can't do deployment quickly. It takes me so long. But I positioned them in such a way that I could move them straight onto a point with 2 APL and then use the last one to capture it, which was pretty good. Or I can dash onto one, or I was trying to get 2 objectives with each activation, which I managed to do with some. But the TAC Ops as well, I didn't choose Seek and Destroy, which is what most people pick with Custodes, because it's the obvious one to pick. But I went with Security just because, I mean, I've done Security before and I failed miserably, but because of the deployment zones and the mission, I thought that it would be achievable. And I think I've never scored all my TAC Ops before in a game, I don't think, ever. So I was surprised that I managed to get Security. But again, this is another game where the Compendium team is just as good as the new box team, and it's just as competitive. Obviously, it depends on the mission.
Oh yeah, obviously this is between us, and maybe I've played these Commandos terribly, but I don't know what are other people's experiences of playing against Custodes. Now they've got 3 APL.
Do you think that they should have kept the 4 APL? Because I have heard people say that they should have kept 4 APL because it wasn't that overpowered because there's only 4 people.
Our experience with Custodes is generally they are in general they're just strong. They're sort of up the tier. Yeah. I'm not sure what other people's experiences are with them.
I've played them before with you against Tyranids with 6 warriors, and I lost. The Custodes lost that game. We should probably try that actually on the channel. That would be a good one to film for people to see at some point.
Yeah, I think I was definitely assisted with some good rolls in that, I think, as well. But it was a good...
That's the part of the game though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
Bad rolls. Because warriors are just like Custodes, got the same wounds, but obviously the saves aren't as good. I'd like to try heavy intercessors, because they're kind of like warriors in a way. Same wounds, same amount of people. I know, because you get 3 warriors, don't you? Not 4.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I need to try that at some point. But yeah, I enjoyed the game, even though it didn't turn out well for Owen. It was quite fun.
I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. You endured it. If you like this part, I wanted to ask the viewers, if you like this part of the video where we have a little sit down afterwards and talk about the game, how we think it went, and all this other stuff we've talked about. If you enjoy that, please let us know by leaving a comment saying you do. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Let us know that too, because we'd like to make the channel better for you so you enjoy the videos more. So let us know some feedback. If there's anything else you think we could do differently, let us know. If there's anything we did in the game that you think we could do differently, or if you think the game could have gone differently in some way if we'd have done something. Let us know that too. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you've not, because that really helps us out. Knowing that people are watching the channel and enjoying what we're doing, like, that is really motivating to do more. And
yeah, it's quite cool.
It's nice to know that people appreciate it, because we have some comments on the other videos that let us know people are enjoying it, and it really makes us want to make more, because we want to make more anyway, but it just gives you that little extra push to know that people are enjoying it. So yeah, let us know, like and subscribe, and please keep watching. We'll catch you next time for the next video.
Bye.
Bye.